Question of the day. Are you scared of clowns? I'm really curious as to how big this fear actually is and how prominent it is amongst people because I'm pretty indifferent to the idea of clowns. Like, I'm not super excited to go to a circus and they don't really scare me. I'm just kind of meh about clowns. But two things I do have to say about them. First, the clown Pennywise in the It movies is absolutely terrifying. So there's that. And then number two, when you're in like first, second, third, fourth, maybe fifth grade, and you have to do those personal question assignments like, who's your role model? Do you have any pets? And oh yeah, what's your biggest fear? I always put clowns because it was just like an easy, popular, accepting answer, and I didn't want people to actually know that one of my biggest fears was, to be like humiliated and bullied and all that very real stuff. So I just put clowns. But yeah, guys, welcome back to the Cars on the Road episode breakdowns. Of course, today we have episode 5, which is showtime. So after this one, we're more than halfway done with the entire show, and I'll be trying to get the rest of the episode breakdowns out as soon as possible while we have a little bit of a dearth of merchandise out to review. So let's just dive right in. Now, I do actually want to say this is one of the episodes that they really push heavily in terms of merchandise and marketing because the circus, it's a very noticeable, very popular, eye-catching, iconic trope used in a lot of different things. And so they blew this one up a lot more than, for example, the Legend episode. They barely did any marketing for that. Same kind of deal with the Trucks episode and the movie episode, just because they aren't as iconic as Circus, Salt Flats, Apocalypse, stuff like that, right? All right, so let's get into it. Of course, this is kind of the first episode where we have Ivy in her full glory, in her nice metallic teal paint job with the flames there. And she gets this from this whale car wash that resembles many real-life car washes across the world. The whale trope is actually quite popular and common for car washes, and they carified it here as a submarine. The only other times we saw a submarine in the Cars universe is one on the Cars poster art book with the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea parody. 20,000 Leaks Under the Seal is what they carified it as. And in the Cars 2 credits, and I'll show pictures of both of those there on the screen. And I really do love how this looks. It just looks like it fits in the Cars universe. I'm glad that we kind of got one of our first looks at a car wash. We get one later in the Trucks episode, but that one's super lame. Number 2, this pity has the Rev and Go paint scheme, the blue and the orange, pretty typical, and a lot of the pitties throughout the series actually have the same schemes as piston cut pitties. And so people are like, oh, they must be retired piston cut pitties. I don't buy that at all. I really just think it was easy for Disney and Pixar to use these pre-animated characters yet again. Ivy sees a cloud shaped exactly like her. At first I didn't notice this, but after seeing it a couple times, yep, that's definitely an Ivy cloud. Alright, so we're just going to bang this out of the way immediately. I took it upon myself to compare all of the clowns in this episode to the normal versions of their models because none of them, and I mean literally none of them, are unique to this episode of Cars on the Road. Like, all of these models that Disney and Pixar are using for the clowns have appeared in at least one other way. Some of them, most of them, more than one, in other media, Cars 2, Cars 3, etc. Now, all of them appear multiple times throughout the episode, but at the end, they are all gathered to bow, and this just made it super easy. I love that they're all in one shot here, and they all really do look great. Like, the paint schemes are unique, that's for certain, and they just look visually appealing. They're not like your typical clowns that, are like red polka dots. Some of them do have that, but they have like this kind of nice zebra scheme, especially K-Pillar to Rev. Some of the other ones have it too. That really just pops. It's a very nice color palette as well. But first off, you have an Alfa Romeo like Giuseppe Motorisi. This is also the model of one of the Ringmasters, May-Pillar to Rev, who we'll get to. Then the Gremlin, we all know where that comes from. This one has an intake though. The other ones didn't have that. And 2 Denise Beams here with different paint schemes. Now, Denise Beam was like a background character that, we actually saw multiple of her in Cars 2. So now we have 2 of that same model as clowns. This Pity is the same model as Jessica Giampatrol and Carlo Veloso and Francesco Bernoulli's Pities. This other Pity is obviously a Guido repaint. There's another one there as well that has the broom, but he's a very typical Pity, and really can't really compare it to anything because that's like the most common model. All right, and we see a lot of these Guido Pities, by the way, like a lot of Guido repaints throughout the show. There's some in the B-Movie Set episode. There are some, I believe, in the Road Rumblers episode. So there are a lot of them out there. And in Cars 2, we saw, of course, Uncle Topolino's band to be Guido repaints, but that actually made sense because it's, like Guido's hometown where I'm sure a lot of people looked like him, whereas here they're just kind of scattered across the United States. All right, here we have a Suki repaint, which is the same as Ichigo, Harumi, and Chisaki from Tokyo. This guy's pretty cool, but it's a Petro Cartolina repaint. So yeah, they used a lot of the Cars 2 crew chiefs for these clowns, which is a little weird, and wait, there are more. Here's the exact same model with 2 VW Bugs. So yeah, they used 2 Petro Cartolinas. You have 2 Volkswagen Bugs. They're different sizes though, and so that's like Xanadu bumpers or Cruz Basoro, Carlo Veloso's crew chief. By the way, if you didn't know, Petro Cartolino was Miguel Camino's crew chief and Giuseppe Motorisi was Francesco's. All right, this plane's the same model as El Chupacabra, but since actually a lot of people viewed that as like a good thing, so I don't know, I'm pretty okay with all this stuff. But this one is the same model as Minnie, Van's wife, and last, but certainly not least, in fact, I think it's one of my favorite clowns, is this Ape Trike that is like Sal Macchiane or Trike Feldman, just with a different back. Like Trike Feldman had the souvenirs, Sal Macchiane had just kind of like a closed back, where this is like a pickup truck backing. So yeah, like I said, I'm pretty okay with all of these repeats. I don't think it's that big of a deal. The one that bothers me the most is K. Pillar Derev, this mythical creature known as K. Pillar Derev, the main ringmaster of Circus Velocitas. Now, I thought this character was actually Sterling from Cars 3 because, one, they are the same exact model. They almost have like the same S logo, it seems, or like the same icon on his grill, and I don't know, they look the same, man. Like, it would have made sense. And number 2, the other reason is that Mattel made the diecast of him with the same exact expression as their Sterling diecast car. So it's like when you put them right next to each other, the only thing that's different is the paint job, which is really nice, granted. So basically, Mattel and Pixar's laziness compounded to confound me. And I apologize for my misguidance. Now, a lot of people think that May here on her left is her sister, but I think it's her partner because she refers to her as Babe if you read the subtitles. People have combated this to say that the subtitles are wrong and should read May instead of Babe, but I don't buy this. I think they're partners. K. Pillar Derev's license plate is B12-18B, so whose initials are BB? Well, let me scroll through all the credits here and analyze them. Character, shading, role, Byron Bashforth, or Brent LeBlanc, or animators Bruna Burford, or Brendan Beasley, or sound designer Benjamin Burt. So yeah, that was kind of a lot. I would go more so with one of the animators, but it really just depends on whose birthday is December 18th. May's license plate is TO2-30W. Wait, that isn't a real date. February 30th? And also, there are no TWs in the credits I saw, so that kind of blows the theory, and I'm just kind of confuzzled at this point. However, this license plate here you can clearly read with initials BC and date August 10th, and there is only one person in the entire credits with initials BC, and that is one of the animators, Brett Coderre. And I tried to find out this guy's birthday, but to no avail. He doesn't even have any social media I could ask him on. That'd be kind of weird though. It'd be like, yo, your birthday August 10th? He is the only person, like I said, in the main credits with those initials, so I feel quite confident that this might be referring to him. And also, the state is Mississippi, but Miss Firesippy. Get it? I want to talk about Hall Haynes for a second here. We know his name from merchandise he was a part of, but can we rationalize his immeasurable strength? I mean, this must confirm cars can work out to improve their strength, because no way an average forklift can withstand the weight of these cars and later monster truck Ivy herself. I'm just imagining human Hall Haynes to be absolutely shredded, kind of like The Rock or Astro Smokey. Love the "they'll drag you back" line from Mater and his facial expression here. Another great one-liner from Mater. He has quite a few of them throughout the show. And oh my god, the look on this gremlin's face is such a lemon grimace. Literally looks straight out of Cars 2. This last part is a little too spontaneous for me because I keep thinking, how could they let Ivy do her own act? A complete stranger to them who could totally accidentally smush one of them. But all is well, and we get her theme from her cabin in the last episode. The last scene here shows an entire crowd in the stands, and among them is none other than Todd the Pizza Planet Truck. So after missing the last episode, he is back. We'll see how long he sticks around. I really don't know if he's in the next episode. I honestly don't even remember what the next episode is. It might be Trucks or something like that. And you could even see an entirely blue repaint of that same Suki Ichigo model with that spoiler. So it actually looks really cool, but it's just weird that they keep reusing such an obscure model. Like, if you're going to reuse these cars that you've already animated, why don't you do like Milo, Johnny, James, Valerie, V8? Like, there's so many from Cars 1 that are just like basic sedans that would make sense to appear over and over again. But when I keep seeing Ichigo models and I keep seeing Sterling models, I just start to feel a little bit like, ooh, weird, and I got the ick feeling. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this episode breakdown. Let me know, what was your favorite part of the episode? And maybe a more pointed question is, what is your favorite clown from the episode? I think I am going to go with that Ape Trike. I'm a big fan of him, and I hope that we get some diecast of him. I think, honestly, we'll get diecast of all these clowns. The Gremlin will be the first one, though, coming out very, very soon. All right, guys, enough from me. I'll see you next time. Bye now.